That's it, man. Nothing is ever going to top this. Just, movies are gonna suck from now on. Like, as good as it might be, it's not gonna matter. It's gonna be worse than Promare. Yeah, man, I don't... Oh, this was really something else. But before we get started, I would like to talk about today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. I'm kidding, no we're not. I just wanted to say that once. So Promare is a movie that came out in May, a new anime film from Studio Trigger. Now, I'm a really big Studio Trigger fan. I love their style so much. I've enjoyed most of their shows. They got a lot of great stuff going on there. So I'm always looking forward to new productions by Trigger, and Promare was no exception. But what made my excitement for Promare exceptionally high was that this film would be directed by Horiyuki Imaishi, who has directed some of the best shit ever. He worked on like an episode of Fooly Cooly. He did Gurren Lagann, Kill la Kill, Penny and Stocking, Space Patrol Lulico, and Kazuki Nakashima, who wrote Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill, the two of them had worked together in the past, was writing this film. So it was like a big Gurren Lagann, Kill la Kill reunion, and those two are some of the best shows I've ever seen, so I couldn't be more excited. So like I said, the movie did come out in May, but these past few weeks, the film has been making its rounds to theaters across the world, and it played for 3 whole show times here, only one of which being with English subtitles. And it was at 10 o'clock on a Monday night. So nice. But I was very happy that I finally got a chance to see it, and man, did this blow me away. Promare is a story about firefighters. 30 years ago, a weird mutation showed up that suddenly caused people to unlock pyrokinetic abilities. As you would imagine, it caused a huge disaster, killed lots of people. So ever since, the government has been cracking down on these people known as the Burnish and arresting them, locking them up. Even though most of the Burnish are just normal people who couldn't control that they have this ability, it just sucks to be them. Our main character is Gallo, who is a normal firefighter. He's on the squad. You know, they go put out fires, rescue people. They do it in mechs, but you know, as he would. But on one mission, Gallo meets Leo, who is a member of a Burnish terrorist organization. As he learns more about Leo, he learns more about the Burnish, and begins to question if the government has a more sinister role in all of this. That's all I'm going to say on the plot. It's a movie. It's only 2 hours long. You're good not knowing more. I will say, though, I was very, very puzzled about the plagiarism claims from a few months ago. I think there was an article about it. A lot of people were claiming that Promare plagiarized Atsushi Okubo's Fire Force. I think this is ridiculous. Like, aside from them being firefighters, people having fire abilities, and the main theme being called Inferno, these two things really have nothing in common. So I really don't know where this whole hysteria about the plagiarism came from. It's like saying Fire Force plagiarized Fireman Sam. Come on now. So I was thinking of ways to describe this movie, and while I was browsing the internet, I found this really cool take from a guy on my anime list. I know, a pretty sleazy site. But in this review, this guy says to imagine the first 5 minutes of Kill la Kill. How insane they are, how full of energy they are, how amazing the animation is. Picture that, but for 2 hours long. That's Promare. And it is, without a doubt, I'm not even exaggerating, one of the best films I have ever seen. In terms of action and in terms of animation, I really don't think I have ever seen anything top this. This film was truly, in every sense of the word, euphoric. But let's break this down a bit. Now, the story is extremely entertaining, and if you're familiar with Trigger works, you probably know what to expect with this one. It has this really crazy out there premise, this crazy world with a lot of moving parts, a lot of characters with sinister motivations, a lot of themes it's going to tackle, but at the same time, it's so ridiculous, and it is fully self-aware of that. I mean, this plot is so dumb if you break it down. But what makes it work so much is just the insane balls-to-the-wall nature of it all. Like, the action and the set pieces is so over the top that it would only work if they didn't take it seriously, and they don't. And it's just beautiful. The two main characters, Gallo and Leo, are really fantastic. There's this great dynamic between the two of them. Seeing them do their stuff is so much fun. There's a character named Deus, who I won't say much about, shows up later on in the film. He's probably like the funniest thing I've ever seen. The main villain of the story is so entertaining. Like, it started at first, like, you kind of understood where this guy was coming from, like, he had understandable motivations, but as you learn more about him, you're like, oh, this guy is a horrible piece of shit. You also have Gallo's crew, a cast of likable minor characters who unfortunately don't really play much of a role in the story because they can't, it's a movie. But I mean, for what it was, they do a fantastic job. I also love how they have like a mouse mascot who literally, like, I don't think they even ever address him. He's just there. So yeah, that's wonderful. All these characters are wonderful. I loved watching them beat the shit out of each other. And that's really what Promare is about. Watching people beat the shit out of each other. If you're not into that type of stuff, you're probably not going to enjoy Promare. But if you like action at all, like, this is an absolute must-watch. From an animation standpoint alone, this is one of the most impressive things I have ever seen. Every single action scene, and the movie is like 90% action, it's almost constant, took my breath away. The massive scale, the direction, the camera movements, the choreography, it was all perfect. And it's not just battling mechs. There's so much more that happens, and it's can't emphasize how good this is enough. I would show clips from the trailer, but the trailers really don't get in to the meat and potatoes of Promare. It is just such a gorgeous film. Nearly every single frame of this movie is beautiful. I seriously want to have like just a whole wall in my house of framed stills of Promare. That's how good this looks. The colors, man. Oh my god. You look up aesthetic in the dictionary, and this is what you see. Oh, and they do such a good job blending 3D and 2D animation. Probably the best job I have ever seen done. Nothing about the CGI in this movie looks bad. It all blends perfectly together. This is how you do it. If you're someone who thinks 3D and anime is only a bad thing, you're a clown, watch Promare. So yeah, nothing but praise for the animation, the direction, the colors, how it looks. It's all unbelievably good. I don't talk about soundtracks very often. To me, it's not really the thing that stands out the most about a film. They're important, but you know, I can forgive an unmemorable soundtrack if the film is good. But Promare's soundtrack is so unbelievably excellent that I could not believe it. Ever since I saw it a few days ago, I have been playing it non-stop. Just, you know the hype you experience when you're watching Kill la Kill and Before My Body Is Dry kicks in? This film is like it constantly when it comes to the soundtrack. My favorite has to be Leo's theme, which is such a bop, man. Inferno is also incredible. So those are my thoughts on Promare. It was quite the experience, and I really, really think that this is one of the best films I have ever seen. At least one of the best action films I have ever seen, because it delivered on every single front. I know Promare is still playing in some places, and if it's playing near you, I cannot urge you enough to go see it. If you've already seen it, you probably loved it, so go see it again. And if you unfortunately did miss out on it, maybe didn't live near an area where it was playing, or you just missed out altogether, definitely look for this one when it releases on Blu-ray. I hope to God it gets a Blu-ray release in English. That would be a crime if it didn't. But yeah, it's truly an amazing film that I cannot recommend enough. And if you have seen it, comment below your thoughts, because I would love to hear what other people had to say. And with that, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.